Modified hip 90-90 position with an emphasis on trail leg internal rotation. Now, the modification for this is simply to accommodate you if you have a lot of stiffness in hip internal rotation. So to get into the position, you start seated, leaning back on your hands just like this. We let both knees fall to the same direction. Now I understand just getting to this point, it can be pretty stiff for you, but let's just get our 90s ironed out first and then we'll get into the modification to help. So the 90s are between the two thighs of the groin, that's number one. And then we want a 90-degree at the front knee and the back knee. Now the position itself is simply trying to get as upright as you can. This may be really tough for you. You may be getting a lot of resistance from this trailing hip. So the first step that you can take to help with that is to simply take your hand and walk it away from the trailing hip. My trailing hip, this is an internal rotation. I'm leaning away from it to release some of that tension. As you do this, just make sure you're not getting really lazy through your shoulder or your trunk. You want to be strong through the arm, strong through the trunk like you're holding a side plank. This is one modification. If you still need further modification, you can actually sink down to the forearm on that side. If this is the case for you, stay strong through your trunk and your shoulder. I like to look down this way and see kind of a straight alignment between my shoulder, hip, and knee. Okay, my knee's not forward, my knee's not back, it's just a straight line down. You should still feel a lot of stiffness in this trailing hip. If you're feeling like this back knee just can't get to the floor, it's hovering off the floor a bit due to stiffness in that back hip, you can take a bolster, something as simple as a rolled up towel, and you can place it underneath that back knee to help give you some support, but it also gives you something to kind of actively push that knee down into to kind of push into that stiffness that you feel. Whatever it is that works for you in this modified position, as long as you feel that stiffness in the back hip, hold this position.